let's talk about ratios. A ratio is basically a comparison between two different groups using numbers. Here are some examples. Here we have 1 star and 3 circles. You can represent these by the numbers 1 and 3. There are 3 ways to write a ratio. One way is to use a colon. So we can use this colon here. So you can say 1 colon 3. That's one way to write a ratio. Another way to do it is use the word 2. So you could say 1, 2, 3. And then the last way you can represent a ratio is using a fraction. So you could do 1 over 3. So as you can see here, these are 3 ways of how to write a ratio. Let's try this one here. Here you see 2 smiley faces and 3 sad faces. So we can use 2 and 3 here. Again, you could write the ratio 2 colon 3. You could use 2, 2, 3. Or you could do 2 over 3. 3 ways to write a ratio. This is the most popular one though. So now that you understand what a ratio is, you could do problems with it. So in this one, they're asking you to write each ratio as a fraction in simplest form. Here, what do you see? You see 2 circles. And how many triangles? 6. 6 triangles. Now, you could have written it like this. 2 dot dot 6. 2 colon 6. Or you could do it like this. 2, 2, 6. Or you could do it like this. 2 over 6. But the question is telling you to write it as a fraction in simplest form. So we shouldn't write it like this or this. We need to write it as a fraction. So, this is the fraction, but it's not in simplest form. We can divide both of these by 3 to put it, or not by 3. You can divide both of these by 2. You can divide both of these parts by 2 to get it into simplest form, which is 1 over 3, I think. So, this will be your answer. 1/3. For this problem. What about this one? We have 6 Erics and 8 Mavericks. We need to write it as a fraction in simplest form. So we need to do it 6 over 8. But this is not in simplest form. So we can make it into simplest form by dividing both parts by 2. That would make 3/4. So 3/4 is your ratio. Hope that makes sense. Okay, here's a word problem. Jackson has 3 blue pencils, 5 yellow pencils, and 4 red pencils. Find the ratio of red pencils to the total number of pencils. We want to find the ratio between red and the total. Well, how many red pencils are there? 4, right? We have 4 red pencils. How many total number of pencils are there? Well, that'd be 3 plus 5 plus 4. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. So there are 12 total pencils. So we need to make a ratio of 4 to 12. So that's your ratio. You could have write it like this. You could say 4 to 12, or you could do 4 over 12. All of these would be correct. So whenever the problem has the word total, remember to add the numbers up. And that will be one of the numbers you put in the ratio. Hardest problem in this lesson. They might ask you to divide a certain group so you can create a ratio. These are a little bit more difficult because they're multi-step. So this one, they're asking you to divide 30 flowers into 2 groups so that the ratio is 2 to 3. In order to do that, you may need to follow 3 steps. Step 1, take the numbers of the ratio and add them. The numbers of the ratio are 2 and 3, so you would add 2 and 3, 2 plus 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. So the first step is easy. You just add the numbers of the ratio. Step 2, now what you're going to do is take each number of the ratio and put it over the total. So we have 2 and 3, right? You're going to take 2 and put it over the total, which is 5. And you're going to take 3 and put it over the total, which is 5. So that's step 2, taking each number of the ratio and putting it over the total. Step 4, you're going to take the group that they want you to divide and times it by the fractions that you created here. So they want you to divide 30 flowers, right? So you're going to, no, it sounds silly, multiply 30 by each of these. So you're going to do 30 times 2 over 5 and 30 times 3 over 5. All right. So if you do this, this will give you 60 over 5, which is the same as 12. If you do this one here, this one will give you 90 over 5. If you do 30 times 3/5, that gives you 90 over 5, which is the same as 18. So your ratio for this problem, if you were to divide 30 flowers, you'd have a ratio of 12:18. You could write it like this. You could write it like this, 12/18, or you could do 12 over 18. All of these are correct. But that's how you solve that problem.